To access the organizational insights and see how is my organization doing at a glance, you can first go to your avatar in the upper right and then click on Manage, and it will say your organization's name. That will bring you right into the Insights page. The first thing you'll notice is that you can actually switch all of the date ranges. So there's some quick filters here of past 7 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, past year, or you can click on specific dates that you're interested in looking at. You can also filter by groups. So if you've created groups in HMM Spark for cohorts or regions or any other type of group, you can really quickly at a glance see how that specific group is doing in HMM Spark. To quickly gauge the health of HMM Spark in your organization, you can start by looking at these 4 metrics that are right across the top of Insights. The first one is active users. So how many users have actually accessed HMM Spark in this time period? You'll see that every metric has its definition if you forget what those definitions are. You'll also notice that there's some triangles, inverted or upright. They can be red, they can be green, next to each one of these metrics. Those triangles are indicating the percent change from the prior period of the same length. So for example, here I've set this for the past 30 days. So this is showing me that this 30-day period, as compared to the one prior to it, has 1% fewer active users. So the active users is down 1% from that prior 30-day period. So that's something that I'll probably want to keep a tabs on is, are my active users going down or are they going up? It's one way to see the health. The next metric is viewed items. So this just means the items that learners have gone in and looked at across the entire HMM Spark site. After that, you can see the number of completed items. So to show up in this metric, a learner has to go in and actually physically mark complete. And there are a number of reasons why you're going to see a discrepancy between the viewed items and the completed items. One of those reasons is that folks are going in, they're poking around, they're exploring, they're maybe taking half of an article that's useful to them, and they're not going through the whole thing and then going and marking complete. Some folks really don't care if they mark complete. I know some of those people who don't care if they mark complete. I personally like to mark complete when I complete something, but you'll see a different range in terms of whether people care or not, and also the organizational culture might influence that as well. Another reason why people might not mark complete is HMM Spark is a social site. If my profile is visible to everybody in the organization, that means they can also see my collection. So my collection are the items that I've marked complete. So if I've been doing some sort of search on managing my boss, dealing with difficult interactions or difficult people, I might decide that I don't want to press mark complete because I don't want all of those different resources going into my collection for other people to see. So there is the expectation that you will have a difference between viewed items and completed items. That might be something that over time, though, you can look for patterns into whether that is a ratio that is increasing, decreasing, etc. The last item here is shared items, and HMM Spark is a social site, and we do look for sharing activity occurring on the site. Not just to have people connecting socially, but when I think something's really valuable and will be valuable to my peer, I might go ahead and share it. Again, this might depend a little bit on the culture of your organization, and then also how you've rolled out HMM Spark to learners and how you're sharing HMM Spark with your learners. For example, if you're really using HMM Spark as more like a content library, you're deciding what is going to the learners, you're pushing content to them, then your learners might come in, they might consume a video you've sent or read an article, but they might not even know that this is something that's a bigger social forum where they can share this with other folks as well. So if you see a shared items number that's lower than you might want it to be, that might spur some decisions around how you are bringing HMM Spark to your organization, how you're bringing it to your people leaders, and what you're encouraging folks to do within HMM Spark. You might be asking, well, what is low? What is high? One of the things we're going to be working on is as more learners come into HMM Spark, looking across organizations and be able to create some benchmarks for you. So you have a sense of maybe it's your industry, maybe if possible your size. We're able to look at what is the average for shares, for example, and then what does an organization that's doing this well look like? What does an organization that has fewer shares look like? So in the future, we are hoping to be able to share more of that with you. And then the other place that I'd look to think about the health of HMM Spark in my organization is the daily active users. And it says daily here because I've set it for the 30-day time period. If I set it for 90 days, it would change to weekly active users. And then I'm going to share right here, I'm going to change it to the past year so you see it month by month. So in this view, you're able to see, okay, and for example here, every month, how many active learners did I have in my organization? And then how many of those were new, so they'd never been into HMM Spark before that month? And then how many are returning? Both of those are important to continue to look at, right? So as you grow HMM Spark, you want to continue to reach new learners, unless you're kind of close to your license threshold, but you want to continue to reach new learners. You also want to make sure that return learners are happening, so people are coming back into HMM Spark. What you see here might determine what you decide to do in terms of new learner campaigns or maybe re-engagement campaigns for your existing learner population. But this is important to keep tabs on for your own interest and your own activities in terms of who's new, who's returned, and what do those statistics look like for me from month to month.